Okay, lots of things new today. Firstly, this is natural light. I'm testing it out for the first time. I hope it's okay. Secondly, a little bit of a change of a background. Again, testing it out first time. I don't know if this is going to stick around. This is going to be a test. You are going to come along this journey with me as I try to figure out my lighting, my background, and all of that. I'm also using a camera that has in the past given me a lot of trouble. I think I've figured it out. I've bought all the gizmos and the thingamabobbers to kind of help it along. So let's see how this goes. The other thing that's new is yet another concealer launch. This is the Westman Atelier concealer, and I have heard so many great things about this, so I thought I would test it out with you today, and hopefully this is good enough to post. Otherwise, I'll just film it again in my regular setup and cross my fingers. Oh, you guys, you know what else is new? I have contacts in. I know. I went yesterday and I did the whole training thing about how to put them in and take them out, and I'm still getting used to them. So things are still a little bit fuzzy, but apparently that's supposed to go away. I've never worn contacts before. So again, wish me luck. I don't know why I threw all of these new things in just one video, but you know what? Whatever, live and learn and progress over perfection. That's what I say. But I really hope I don't have to do this all over again. Let's see how these lenses work. Okay, what it is. Oh, they're working. This is good news. Good news. A precise buildable coverage under eye concealer clinically shown to reduce the look of dark circles, featuring serum strength skincare to hydrate, visibly brighten and soothe, medium coverage, natural finish. It has mini hyaluronic acid and peptides to support natural collagen and soften the look of crepiness, fine lines, and crow's feet. So, Vital Skincare Brightening Concealer, professional performance pigments, and potent skincare combined for breathable coverage that feels as good as it looks. This concealer builds and sets in seconds to blur the look of texture for a creaseless finish. So we're saying it's creaseless. We're saying it's blurring, and the hyaluronic acid and peptides hydrate and firm, while Vital Wake Up Complex visibly evens tone and diminishes dark circles over time. Well, I can't do the over time claim today, but I can certainly test out all of the other claims. I do have to say, I wore this concealer yesterday just so I could get a feel for it and kind of get a first impression before I reviewed it for you today. However, yesterday I went for my contact thing and they were teaching me how to put the contacts in and take the contacts out. So there was a lot of eye watering and a lot of, stuff going on in this area. And so it really wasn't a fair assessment really at the end of the day on how the concealer performed, because it didn't look that great at the end of the day. I will say that, but I don't want to put it on the concealer for that reason. I want to give it a fair shot today. And so we'll do that together. I'm going to put this on right now, and then I'm going to do some check-ins throughout the day. And then I'll check in at the end of the day and let you know how we look. I had a hard time picking shades online, and I don't have a Sephora too close to me that carries the Westman Atelier brand in store. I do have one, but it's kind of out of the way. So I thought I'd take a chance on Romance, and I ordered online. Usually I'm pretty good at picking my shades online, but this time it was really difficult. So I picked up two. I picked up L4 and M2. M1 looked a little bit yellow, so that's why I went up to M2. And let me swatch these for you just so you can see the difference in the shades. First, let's look at this gorgeous bottle. You have this little window here that lets you know how low you're getting on your stash over here. So beautiful bottle. I have to call that out. I love it. It's small, it's portable, it doesn't take up too much space, and it really looks very nice. You get 10 mils of product in this bottle, even though it looks quite small. There's 10 mils in there. This one is L4, which is described as a light peach. And this one right below it is M2, which is described as a light medium peach. Okay, it's one thing to see them on the hand. Let's get these on my eyes. Normally, when I test out a new concealer, I do not use color corrector. Color corrector is something that I use 99% of the time because of the darkness that I experience under my eyes. But when I do test a new concealer, I don't use a color corrector because I do want to see how it performs on its own. Because I have two shades here, and I did notice that they looked very similar yesterday, even though on the swatches M2 looks darker. I'm going to put L4 on this side, and I'm going to put M2 on this side, and that way you'll see the difference on my face, on my skin tone side by side. The only thing I have on my face today is the Dior foundation stick. I wear shade 2.5N. That's all I have on top of obviously my regular everyday skincare and my sunscreen for sure. And my brows are done. That is all. So let's get into applying the concealer. I'm going to start with L4 and just apply a little bit. So the consistency is nice and thick, but not too thick. This is the B05 concealer brush from RÈPHR. And I'm just going to start spreading this on my under eye. And so this spreads nicely. It has a very nice consistency. Definitely. It's thicker, but not too thick, and easily spreadable. So it's thick enough, but not too thick that you can't spread it around nicely and easily. So very easily applied. Guys, this is natural light, and I feel like maybe it's too bright. Is it too bright? So that goes on very easily, very nicely. Looks very, very smooth under the eye. And L4 is quite brightening. So it looks really good. I'm happy with it when I first apply it. The coverage, I would say I would need a little bit more coverage. So I'm going to add just a little bit more in the areas that I need, which is usually like right here where my under eye meets my cheek, where I have a little bit of a ridge and my eyes kind of sink in a little bit there. And so I try to mask that with the concealer. And I'm just tapping in at this point. Mirror from Hal, and it's very, very smooth. I have to say that. Extremely smooth application. It looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous under the eye. I didn't mention how stupidly expensive this concealer is. 1 second. This concealer is $65 Canadian and $48 US. It better look smooth and great and nice under my eyes. But yes, so far this is L4 on this side, nothing on this side, and now I'm going to put M2 on this side of my face. Start with a little bit. So yeah, you can see it's a little bit darker and peachier, which peach isn't a bad thing for me because it does cancel out the darkness under my eyes. I'm typically neutral, light, medium, neutral is what I go to. And I use a color corrector for that peachiness. But if I don't have an option in the neutral zone, then I will opt for a peachier shade. Hourglass concealer brush. And let's get this guy on this side. I forgot to do my lids. I'll do my lids too. Again, this spreads out very nicely, very smoothly, very easily. I have to call out that this is my eye that I'm having still. It comes and goes. It's the strangest thing, but I do have a dry patch right here under this eye. And so I keep that always in mind when I'm testing a new concealer because it's not the concealer's fault. It is my skin's fault. So, and in general, I'm finding that my eye, this eye right here, looks a little bit crepier, a little more lines than this eye. But this eye is darker. So, I mean, challenges on both sides, okay? Beautiful, beautiful. It looks very, very nice. Now I'm going to get my eyelids too. I'm going to put some shadow on after I finish applying this concealer. That spreads, I have to say, it spreads like butter. It spreads like butter. And I wouldn't expect anything else from a $65 concealer. So let me get this eyelid too. Back to L4. Get a little on here, especially in this corner where I have a lot of darkness. Back to my RèPHR B05. And spread this along. This is a great brush, by the way. I prefer it to the Hourglass concealer brush. It's just more, it's not as stiff as the Hourglass. It's got a little bit more give, but it's not too floofy. So I feel like it's more comfortable on the eye and it works like a dream. Okay, so let me take a look. Mirror from Hal, 1 sec. Yeah. Really smooth. That's the word that pops into my mind when I first look at this. I'm not looking at my wrinkles. I'm not looking at all of the, you know, stuff going on under my eyes. When I look at it, I can see that it has gone on so smoothly. Creamy, but not too creamy. Just enough, just enough. Maybe a little Goldilocks moment right here because it looks good. It looks really, really good. Like even in a 10 times mirror, it's looking really great. All right, everybody. L4 on this eye, lid and under eye. M2 on this eye, lid and under eye. And I think we're looking really, really great. I'm going to go and finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be back in a flash. Okay, everybody. So here we are all done. This is what we're looking like. Like I said, this side is L4 and I did not powder at all under this eye because this is supposed to self-set. So I want to see how it goes. It does look like it's set. It doesn't necessarily need powdering, but I do like to lightly powder under my eyes, but I wanted to leave this one as is just for this wear test. This side is M2 and I have powdered under my eye just to see what the difference is there. And then for the rest of my makeup, for powder, I use the new Mario Loose Setting Powder. I have been loving this after a very weird first try with this one. It's working out really, really great actually. And then on my eyes, I used the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette. And for bronzer and blush, I used the Dragon palette from Hourglass that I reviewed. I did an extensive review on my face. I compared half with the new Dragon and Evil Eye, and on the other half, I did last year's Leopard and Jellyfish. I used the only bronzer that's in here, and then I used the Peachy blush that comes in this palette. That is all. And then I lightly dusted with the finishing powder from the Hourglass palette. So that is all that I have on my face. Oh, Lippies is a gloss that I completely forgot about because there's been so many lip products coming out, but it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss and I can't see the shade, but I will link it along with everything else that I have on my face. I'll link it in the description box down below. I love this gloss. It's so long lasting. It's a little bit sticky, but that's what gives it its staying power. So I love it so very, very much. I can't believe I forgot about it. Oh, and for liner, I use the Mario pencil in the shade Hugh. So this is what we are looking like. I am going to give this a full day wear test. I'm going to take it as long as I possibly can. Before I let you go, I just want to take, you know, a little look on how we are looking under the eyes before I start my wear test. And you know, this is a 10 times mirror and I'm starting to see a little bit of emphasis of my lines. I don't know if you can see it. I can certainly see it. Let me look at it in a normal mirror because this is what's happening. I have my contacts on and I'm in the 10 times mirror. So it's making things even more pronounced. So I'm just going to look in a regular mirror real quick. And yes, so right off the bat, it looked so good when I first applied, okay? And now I am definitely seeing an emphasis of my lines. Let's see how this progresses throughout the day. I will be checking in at least once, and then I'll come in at the end of the day and I'll let you know what we look like and give you my final thoughts on this concealer. All right, let's do a check-in. We're 5 hours in right now. This is the side that has the shade L4 and I haven't powdered or set down. And I think it's a little bit light for me, but that's okay. That's why we test these things out. This is the side that has M2 and it's a better match for me 100%. So that's what I can see. But I don't know if you guys can see. It went on really smoothly, but right now I'm seeing it's not creasing, it's just emphasizing every line I have, but not at every angle. Some angles, it just looks so good. Some mirrors, it looks so good. Like I keep checking it all day. And sometimes I'm like, wow, that looks amazing. And now, for instance, I can see, I don't know, just an emphasis, a little bit of an emphasis on my lines. It's not horrific and it's not horrible. But just wanted to check in 5 hours in. I don't think I'm going to take this further than 8-9 hours. So I don't know if I need to check in again. I'll be back with my final thoughts on this once a good 8-9 hours has passed. All right, here's the thing with natural light. You never know when you're gonna have it. And that's a thing, you know? Here's an up close look at the end of the day. I hope the lighting is okay. Guys, I'm really sorry. Like, honestly, I'm really sorry if it's not. I'm really trying to figure this out. So if it looks decent enough, I'm going to upload this video because I want to get this review out for you. And then I'll see what happens. So let's take a look at the under eyes. This is the final check-in. All right. So this is the side that has the M2 shade on it, and I have powdered. And this is the side that has L4. I do prefer M2. I think the shade matches me a lot more than L4. L4 is a little bit too light without a color corrector underneath, leaves a little bit of a cast, a slight gray cast. And also, this is what I will say about setting this concealer. Although it's supposed to be self-setting, I don't think that it is, because I see a huge difference between my set under eye and my unset under eye. Throw in that this is too light for me and it's a recipe for disaster. I really don't like the way this under eye looks right now. We are now 9 hours in, and although this concealer looked fire under my eyes when I first apply it, at this point, and actually not only at this point, very early on, for some reason under my eyes, this doesn't look as smooth as it does when I first apply it. When I first apply it, it looks incredible. And then I start to see more and more of the lines under my eyes. It's not creasing. It's just almost emphasizing them, almost like it's drying, which is very odd since this is supposed to be a very hydrating and skin caring type of concealer. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look awful. Not at all, but I have seen my under eyes look a little bit better. I am so surprised because, you know, so many people love this, but not everything is for everybody. Like I said, it's not a horrible product, but under my eyes, I don't know, is it my eyes today? I'm really not sure. Is it my contacts? Zooming in, I don't know. I'm not sure because everything is so new today, but for real, I don't know. I don't know if this is a concealer for me, and I'm really, really sad. Well, I'm not sad because it's really, really expensive, and if I loved it, then, you know. I would definitely need a color corrector under this concealer, even with the M2, even though it has a peachiness to it. I do think I need a little bit of help under my eye, but that's not the concealer's fault. That's me for having such darkness under my eyes. So if you had even a little bit less darkness than I do, you would be okay with M2. If you're my shade twin, 100%, and you don't suffer from that extreme darkness that I do, then you would be okay with that. Now, I also want to call out that sometimes in some angles, this looked so great, even throughout the day. And then in other angles, other mirrors, other lighting, it seemed to emphasize all of these lines. So I don't know what's going on. It's like this chameleon of a concealer that is really, really confusing me because, like I said, at times it looks amazing, and then other times I look in a mirror and I'm like, ooh, what? What is that? So again, it's not creasing, it's just emphasizing everything that I don't want emphasized under my eyes, and it's not as smooth as it looks when you first apply it. I will continue to use it. I will, and I'm not sure if there's a variable in today because there's so many new things that I've introduced. Truly, the contacts, I think, have a big thing to do with my evaluation of what I'm seeing in a mirror and all of that. So please do take that into account. But I noticed this yesterday, which I attributed to the watering of my eyes and everything when I went to go get my contacts fitted. But I am noticing the exact same thing today. Not on that level, not at the same level as I did yesterday, but today, even still. And I asked my daughter, I said, what do you think about, how smooth do you think this concealer looks today? And she said, your under eyes have looked better. I was sure, I was confident that this was going to be the concealer. But so far, that's not the case. I know A very unpopular opinion, I know, but that's okay. Everyone has different skin. Everyone has different needs and concerns for their under eyes. So not everything is going to be for everybody. But again, these are my second impressions, and I will continue to use it throughout the month, and I will definitely include it in my September roundup speed reviews. I think the lighting is a little bit better now that the sun is not like beaming on me. So that's another thing I have to really figure out. I kind of am liking this setup. I really am. The natural light is amazing. It really is, except when it gets too bright. So I do apologize if throughout the video there's a little bit of a blown out kind of situation. I don't know how to fix that. It's either natural light that's too bright or natural light that's kind of like this, that now it's like real, it's the sun has set almost. There's still light outside, but like it's way in the evening time. I think in my monitor, from what I'm seeing, that it looks a little bit better and not so blown out. I'm sorry, I'm gonna do this because I know it was hard to see. It was really hard to see when I was showing you before. This is the bronzer I was using today, and this is the blush I was using today. And also I want to tell you what I have on my eyes. I didn't show you earlier because I couldn't get the glare off of this palette, the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette. So I want to tell you what I do have on my eyes today. So I went in with this shade right here. It's called Flash Over. Okay, this is what I have put all over my lid. It's a cream to powder formula. It's absolutely stunning. Then I went over to Mellow right here, and I just diffused the edges just a little bit, just to make it look, you know, any harsh edges that were around my eye. And then I went into Homey right here, and I just took my finger and I tapped it in the center of my lid. That is all that I did. That is the shadow that I have on today. So yeah, I mean, that's that. That's that on the concealer. I am surprised that this concealer performed the way that it did because everybody is loving it. However, I don't know if anyone with advanced age, like I'm 50, how old am I? I'm 51. And I don't know if this is for me. As I said, I am going to continue to use it, and you know, I'll let you guys know. I will update you for sure. I'm going to say it again because it's so deceiving. The application is like you think you have found the miracle concealer, and then for some reason under my eyes in particular, like I said, not horrible, not great though. Not the best. I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but that's okay. I will bring you my honest, very honest opinions on this channel, and you know what? You can take them or you can leave them. And otherwise, you can be entertained with my stumbly and fumbly videos, especially this one today. Thanks for sticking through with me. So that is it. That is all for this video. I really hope you found this helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please do consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. That would be amazing. Hit that bell button too, so that you're notified every time I do post a video. And if you hit that like button, that really helps my channel out. Everything I have used today, everything that is on my face will be listed in the description box down below. If you use those links, they are affiliate links. Just wanted to let you know that. If you choose to use those, you do help my channel out, and I do appreciate it very much. If you don't, that is totally fine too. Again, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!